Hi, it's me Debbie again, and I'm here today because I've been tagged by the lovely Renje, Creaboetiek here on YouTube, to do a getting to know you video. It's a tag, I think, and well, you tell something about yourself, and I really love that concept, so here I am. And I really loved her video. She was working on projects while she was talking to you, talking to us, and I'll see if I can do that the same. I mean, working on a project and talk the same, because I don't know if I'm that, how you say, if I can multitask like that. So we'll just see. And for now, I'm just working on the cover of my mini album. You'll see a more elaborated video, of course, on it when I'm done, but for now I'm just working on the cover. So that's it. So for the questions, the first question is, what's your name and what's your YouTube name? Well, that's quite easy, because my name, my real name is Debbie Stip, and my YouTube name is Debbie Stip connected. So it's quite easy. And you may also see the title Little Dot of Creativity, and that's also the title of my blog, which shows up at my channel as well. And that's a whole other story, but it's well, like my creative version of Debbie Stip. But Debbie Stip was long before that, so that's my YouTube name. And the second question is, how did you get started with crafting? Well, actually I have been doing it for, well, as long as I can remember, but when I grow older, I just kind of, well, it kind of disappeared, and I got back to it because I was following a study by which is called product design. So a designer study to learn how to design products, and it was all with heavy deadlines and busy assignments and, well, all mandatory things, of course, and I needed an outlet. I just needed something for me, designing or making stuff I like. And I've been watching blogs for a while, like years and such, and I think I started with card making and just buying some cheap stuff from local stores and some cardboard, and just started making cards with stamps, like lovely lady stamps and such. And then I just expanded, and I've been watching YouTube some more, and I saw these people do other projects like mini albums, for example. So I've been doing those, and, well, I like to get my hands on all kinds of things. So that's what I've been doing, actually. And then I came up into mixed media, and that's the thing I do most now. I don't have that much spare time to craft, but when I craft, I mostly am doing mixed media. But because of that, I like to mix up my things. I like to work on, well, 2 or 3 different projects at the same time. I also do things like this, so mini album, and this is actually inspired by Renje. So she got me jump started on this, let's say. So now I'm doing another mini as well, and well, I think that's it. I'll put links to, of course, Renje's channel and my blog and all those kinds of things in the description box. So if you want to know more, just check that. And I don't think I can do this the same time, but we'll see. The second question, the third question is, what's your favorite crafting brand? Well, that's quite hard, because I do have favorite brands, but crafting stuff, especially scrapbooking stuff here in the Netherlands, is quite expensive. So I, well, almost never get to it to buy them, because my budget isn't that big. But luckily we do have a local store that's quite a, like a dollar store or something. And I do buy my stuff there, like these little vintage blocks, paper blocks with the papers are from that store, and I absolutely love them. So I always look what I can do with my small budget. And but if I do have to name several brands, then I would say Basic Grey. Absolutely love them because they have those bright colors and those modern kind of how you say styles and such, and I absolutely love those. And I also do love my Prima as well, but just now and then, not all of those collections. Same goes for Kaisercraft or Graphic 45. It's not all me, because well, that's also question number 5. What's your crafting style? I think clean and simple and modern. I do like to make it a bit girly, but I'm mostly tight lines, tight patterns. Now I do a bit of vintage, but it's just a bit, you know, because it's also with nature, these patterns, and I do love nature. So with flowers, with the birds and such, that I do love, but mostly I'm into more clean and simple style. I'll show you, let's see. Okay, I think I have shown this in a video, but this is more like me. This is a Prima collection, of course, but yeah, this is my kind of style. Not too much of embellishing. Of course, it's beautiful enough, but not too much details or coloring or stuff. Just well, how you say, attention to the things that matter. And this is also an example you've seen in one of my latest videos. It's the keychain I made for my mom. So well, things like that. Bright colors, stamps. I like to love to incorporate my stamps I have, and just clean. I think modern colors, bright. Well, I think that's it. So yeah, I think that's my style. If you have any other ideas about my style, please do tell me, because I think it's quite hard to tell you. So let's cut this and then I'll do the other question. Just a sec. Otherwise it will never get done, of course. And you won't see me work at all. So let's see, what's the next question? Next question is, what would you really want to try on crafting? For crafting? Well, I think that would be art journaling, because as I said, I've really been into mixed media, but and I do love the freedom of it, the flow of it. You just start with an idea and you build and build and keep on creating until you think it's done. But I'm still a bit too organized and too much of a perfectionist. Perfectionist? I don't know how you call it in English, but that's the Dutch word. And so I love the flow of art journaling, and I've been watching lots of videos, but I'm just a bit too scared to try. I've done a couple of pages. Okay, watch out, it's ugly, some of them. This is one of my first tries. Really ugly. I think I was angry at the time. It wasn't working out. But yeah, as I said, I love trying things. And I also did these pages. And I would love to incorporate them with some writing. So really journaling. This is just the start of another page, and I'm working on a book. But so that's the thing I really want to try, and definitely I want to try to crochet. I have not been able to yet. It's just, I don't know, my fingers are too, yeah, well, not too fat for that, of course, but it's too hard for my fingers. I don't seem to get the hang of it, and I don't know. It's not, I think it's just not me, but I would really love to try, because learn, because I have seen amazing projects out there, and well, I hope I can this year somewhere. Okay, that looks about right. So let's put it on, and I think that's it about trying. Of course, there will be lots of projects to try. Every time I see another project, I think, oh, that's cool, and I just save it to watch later or something. But for now, those are the two things I really want to learn this year. So, on to the next channel, and that's a hard one, because it is about what my favorite channel is. And well, of course I've got lots of favorites, and I don't really want to name names because I might forget people, and I don't want that. And I will recommend a couple of channels that I absolutely do love and I do watch regularly. So those will be in my description box. But for now, I would say in general, I love channels that are, well, diverse. Like, they do projects like mini albums, but they do also altered art, or they do mixed media, or cards, or whatever, or even crochet or something. And that's what I do love most, because that's kept me inspired. And I might not like the actual project or the actual style of a person, but I do love that it gives me ideas to maybe if I see a kind of color or a pattern, or how they've made a mini album, like the construction of it, I'll try to make it my own, and when I'm inspired, incorporate it in my own projects. So that's what I love about getting inspired by others. So I think a good mix of all kinds of projects is the way I choose my channels to watch. And of course I do like channels all about mixed media, because I'm really into that now. But for the most of it, just as diverse as possible. I didn't do this right, but oh well. It will stick. Yes, it does. So for now. Do we have more questions? Yes, of course. So the eighth questions, if I pronounce it correctly, is if you only had $10 to spend, or €10 in my case, what would you buy? Or what would you spend it on? It's also a very hard question, because I actually don't know. If it has to be crafting related, and of course we're doing a crafting video, so if it has to be crafting related, I think I would invest in, well, a good tool or something, or a good adhesive, or a good basic, like a cardstock or a paper or something. I think that would be my choice. And if it would be non crafting related, I would get food. But that's because I really love to eat. And I always say to my boyfriend, I love you very much, but if you feed me, I love you even more. Of course, that's me just joking, but I absolutely love to eat, and I think I would spend it on food, and not just fast food, but really good food. Even if it was just a tiny bit, I would do that. So that would be. And otherwise, as I said, a good tool, like a good cutting knife, or scissors, or mat, or something you really have been wanting, or could last you for years. That is what I would do. And the next question is, what's the item? And I do have to check it up. What's the exact question? Okay, the exact question is, when you start crafting, what is the one item that helps you put it all together? Well, that's a bit different because, as I said, I do different kind of projects. So, of course, that will be different as well. So I'm going to answer that in 2 sections. And that means that when I'm working on mixed media, I think it would be stamps, because when I'm working on a canvas, and that I don't mean just stamps but texture stamps and such. When I'm working on a canvas and have put the design on and the paint on and maybe even some paper extras or something, I look at it and I think, it isn't done. And then I grab myself some stamps like, well, these kind of stamps, texture stamps. I hope you can see that even. Background stamps, things like that. And I get stamping, and I stamp with ink or even with paint. And I think when I do that and I combine it, then my project finally looks finished. So stamps, it would be the case for when I'm doing mixed media. And if I wasn't doing mixed media, I think like for a mini album or something, I think I would probably choose the same thing as Renje did. I would go for distress ink. You may not even see it, but I have done the edges, and I think with pumice stone, and it just, well, kind of finishes the whole thing off, you know. So distress ink really is a big one on my list as well. Do we have more questions? So one of the last questions, number 10, is let's see. If you would have never heard of crafting, what other hobby would you have picked up? Well, that's also quite a hard one, because I think, well, as I said, I've almost since I can remember been doing crafting. If it was card making or other hobbies, I've been painting with sand. When I was a child, I did those, it's not called filigrane, I think, but small pieces of paper. Oh, quilling, I think it's called. And, well, all kinds of stuff. With my grandma, with my mother. So, I don't know, but I think it would be something with nature, because I absolutely love nature and being outside, and that's also why I've started my veggie garden. You know what? I think I'm going to show you. I haven't done a video yet on it, and I'm not quite prepared, but let's see if I can take you to it. It might be a bit wobbly, so bear with me, sorry. So let's see. Going outside. So, if I have mentioned it before, I live at the 7th floor of an apartment building. This is our view, just gorgeous. And this is it, my balcony garden. So, in English it's called square foot gardening, this method I'm using. And in Dutch it's called makkelijke moestuin. And I absolutely adore it. It's a system in which you divide your bins into parts, and then you can plant all kinds of veggies. So, for example, if you look, these are sugar snaps. Those are I don't know the English name. Little round peas, big peas. Giant peas or something like it. Those are radish. Those are a kind of spinach. Rocket salads. Oh no, these are rockets. Those are I don't know in English, beetroot, I think it's called. And this is another variation of spinach. So there are some herbs and some salads over there. And then we've got a big bin like here. And this also got things like carrots and kale and another salad thingy and some well, all kinds of things. I don't know the English name, so it's hard. But I'll just back down a bit. This is my own veggie garden on a balcony. So I'm really happy with that. And I'm just going to take you back inside. Now, I'll just do it. You won't be that dizzy. Okay, we're back. I'm sorry if I made you dizzy, guys, but here we are again. Yeah, well, you've heard it. I'm quite excited about it, and I absolutely love it. I don't have a green thumb at all, and normal plants just won't grow in my home. But, oh, I haven't shown you my tomatoes. Oh, I'm going to. I'm sorry, doing this again. Yay, here they are. Okay, so they're still in the window sill, growing until they can go outside because of the, well, it's not, today it's a warm day, but it's not, well, it can be very cold, and so they can't go outside yet, but they're growing really well. Look at those. So those are my tomatoes. And the funny thing is, I've grown them myself from a little tomato. It's a cherry tomato, but I only need one for in my bin. So the other ones are going away, or giving away, of course, not going away. And this is just a couple of more tomatoes at the back. And these are my giant cucumber plants. Look at those. I'm gonna do it like this. These are real giants. You see that? Amazing, right? Well, I think it's amazing. So now I'm going to take you back. Just a sec. Okay, so here we are again. I'm sorry for all that. I'm just too excited about it. So nature, yes, and I think well, a veggie garden of course is a small thing, but I think if I wouldn't be crafting, I might even be a, yeah, how you call it in English? We call them, well, forest keepers or forest watchmen. So a person, man or woman, who takes care of the woods and the forest and the animal that lives inside it. And I would be living in one of those woods, and I would be a forest keeper. So I think that would be another hobby of mine. Or doing something like this with a veggie garden, but then in a community with children, or I don't know, something like this. That I think. Yeah, I think something like that. But I really do love crafting. I do. So, let's see. I think we're up to the last question, and I'm sorry I haven't created. As I said, I just can't do it. I think I'll just put on some papers and I'll show you when I'm done. So, I'm sorry. But for the last question is, let's see. I have to read. What number one item do you recommend the newbies to have? Well, I am quite the newbie myself still. On certain things like mini albums or mixed media, I'm trying. But when I started really doing it for, well, picking it up again, a couple of, well, I think about 2 years ago or something, I of course I started with reading blogs and watching YouTube videos, and then you get inspired to do the kind of projects you like. But I started with paper crafting, card making especially, and if you would start with that, I would recommend, of course, papers, and they don't have to be expensive. As I said, I buy mine at a local store, and these are about, well, €1.50 or something for a whole block. And yes, they're really thin, so you have to back them up with some cardstock. So cardstock you really need, but you can just start out and try if you like it. And if you're into card making with stamps, buy yourself a couple of stamps that are diverse. You can use on several projects, like a girl that well, doesn't have balloons or doesn't have flowers or something, but a girl that looks like she can be used on a just a greeting card or a birthday card or something like it. Or pick yourself a cute little bird or a butterfly or something you like, and which if you can make several projects with, and just start off with that. And of course you need your tools like scissors and a ruler and things like that. Oh, for the ruler, okay, so for about the ruler, do really buy yourself a good ruler, and it doesn't have to be a special one, but do buy one that has a steel edge on one side. I always use it to cut along, and I've ruined a couple of my older well, rulers that didn't have an edge like that. So and of course you ruin your knife. So I like to do it this way. And of course you can also buy yourself a you call it a cutting machine, but well, I do love doing it this way. So if you do use a ruler, buy one with a steel edge for sure. And for other projects, as I said before, go cheap. Don't buy the real deal stuff yet, because you're just starting out and you don't know what you like of projects. Like I started with card making, and of course in the years I've bought several stamps, but now I still do occasionally buy a stamp, but then it's a texture stamp or something else. And I do have lots of stamps that I've used only once or twice, so of course they will be sold. But start out with a couple, and I don't have that much, so it's not a big deal. But start out with just, well, a little bit of cardstock, a little bit of beautiful papers or something, or you could even use magazines and a pair of scissors and some glue, and you're ready to go. And do watch YouTube and do watch blogs and get inspired and just try doing things. So I think that would be my advice. Start small, start cheap, and just try to find your own little thing you like. And so I think that's it, guys. Yes, that was the last question. I do hope you loved my talking. I know I'm quite chatty, but I hope you loved watching it, and I'm sorry I couldn't craft at the same time. Hey, Renje, you're amazing, really. I'm just not that kind of a multitask, I think, when I need to measure and such and think in English. I'm sorry, it's not my native language, as you know. So you will have a view of my mini album soon, I promise. So I think it's goodbye for now. Bye!